All right, all right. Black Power is the general, y'all. It's the truth hour. Y'all know what time it is. Get your mind ready for some information that's guaranteed to be heavy. Today, we're going to be dealing with a very powerful, powerful subject, you know, and, you know, is NASA using ancient Egyptian star charts to try to reach heaven? But people got to understand where heaven is. And then they can put this information together. But before we get started, y'all know what time it is. King Seti online marketplace, official General Sara Seti DVDs, t-shirts, hoodies. We got African and Kemetic jewelry for the family. We got home decor for the family, holistic tonics and remedies. We got art and home decor for the family that's trying to transform they home into that African temple that they always wanted. Got 15% off right now, 15% off sale for the family. You get it at checkout, going over there, get you something that I know you're gonna like and love. And then trying to, and I know you're gonna want to buy it all, but that's all right. It'll still be there for you. If you don't get it all, it'll still be there for you. 15% off right now, family, until Sunday. For this next Sunday. All right. Y'all know what time it is. Ring the alarm. What is it? GeneralSeti.com. SETI University. The complete General SETI website got over 800 videos and lectures, all that, raw information that cannot be put nowhere else. You see, right there, Too Raw for YouTube, The Making of the White Man series, right there. Those two subjects alone, you know what I'm saying, is the reason why you got to get over there to GeneralSeti.com, because you need to hear that information straight up with no cut on it. You see what I'm saying? All ancient religions, whether you know Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Hinduism, that ism, the other ism, got all the information out there for you on the religions, all world history from Egypt, Africa, West Africa, South Africa, to Southern Asia, all around the world, even to the Americas in the Kushite global empire. You see, the Black Woman is God University series, and so we got so much, from over 50 cities. We got highlights from over 50 cities, 2 international cities. You know what I'm saying? You got to see the energy, family. So get on over there, ring the alarm, GeneralSeti.com. For the family out there, Patreon. General Seti burning down Patreon. They're gonna need the fire department over there on Patreon. Because General Seti burning down Patreon with that fire. You see what I'm saying? And so tonight we even got a powerful one going down tonight. Uh here it is right here. Let me get it up there. Let me get it on up there. Here we go. Bingo. Bingo. Here we go. The Order of Melchizedek and the Canaanite Egyptian Mystery School. Going down tonight on Patreon, family. And it's going to be fire. It's going to be fire. It's going to be fire. Believe that. Because I'm going where no mind could go. You see what I'm saying? Dealing with text and information that motherfuckers don't even know exists out there. And so we got to put this together, because there's a lot of our information hidden in parables. You understand? And hidden in secret tongue of our ancestors. You understand what I'm saying? And when it's manifested, it's going to unlock the genetic code and energy inside of you to wake up out of your goddamn slumber and get busy and get on this work and obtain your throne. You understand what I'm saying? Because you can come here and you don't obtain your throne, you done wasted your time. You done wasted your existence. You must obtain your throne. And now I don't mean sitting up in the gut of the beast. I'm talking about fulfilling the prophecies of Marcus Garvey and many of our great, that there will be a time where we will rule again. We once ruled empires, we're going to rule empires again. And that's a reality. That's not a parable, nigga. That's a reality being prophesied to the people. And so we got to wake up out there today. And so the Order Melchizedek on Patreon. You can, all the links is down in my video description. You can hear any of those links. You understand? It'll take you right on over to the site so you can get that work. Okay. Let me get this one off the way. Let's deal with it. Now, number one. Okay. This is the one. Yeah, this is the one. Bingo. Start here. Now, I myself, I say, damn. When I look, people used to say, man, don't you know, man, they got some damn research. They searching for aliens and shit, and they call that shit SETI. I say, what? And so, man, I went to looking this shit up, and I say, well, goddamn, they do. It's called it's the what is the official name of it? I got to get the official name of it. Here it is. I believe it's the search for extraterrestrial intelligence or something on that level. You know what I'm saying? And so, but the thing is, in order to do this, you got to have a blueprint. You see, and the thing is that our people don't understand that our ancestors have been here for millions of years. You see, and the thing is what we got to understand, number one, what cannot be duplicated with no type of satellites or any goddamn thing. Let me see if I got a piece of paper. Because I was gonna draw some diagrams and shit. I should have already had it, but that's all right. And it's just like, and I tell people this, that our people have been here for millions of years. This is not to be disputed. Even the Cro-Magnon Neanderthal will say that. But he gonna say that for the most part, you was a monkey. He not gonna give you no credit that you was here millions of years doing research. And see, when you understand that you already been here for millions of years, you can understand the development that went into the pyramid. You see? And people got to understand, when you look at the pyramid and see the level that we had obtained in architecture, you got to understand that level of attainment was equal across all the arts and sciences. You see what I'm saying? So we were just, at that time, we were just as cold in medicine and astronomy and all of that. They was building these megaliths, you understand, to pinpoint accuracy to certain stars and certain constellations. You see? And much of that research had been done while they was in the South. You see? While they was in the South, when, in the higher elevation of Africa. You see? Because when you go up the river, you're in a higher elevation. And so, let me bring some things to you, because I got to drop this so y'all understand what the ancestors, because it's not all in, you got to understand this. Now, when you looking at this, let me bring it up so you can see a little better. You see, now, this is what they talking about when they talking about the celestial Nile. You see what I'm saying? Because you got to understand that the Nile is flowing out of the mountains. You see, the Nile is flowing out of the mountains. The mountains are considered an extension of heaven. You see what I'm saying? So when you imagine some of these clouds, these mountains is above the clouds. You see what I'm saying? So this is an extension of heaven. So when they say the river flowed down from the heaven, in reality, you understand, this is exactly what they meant. You see? And so when we talk about heaven, you see, I don't know what heaven you talking about. We talking about the heaven of our African ancestors was situated in the southern hemisphere. The southern hemisphere, the celestial southern hemisphere. Because just like you got a southern hemisphere of the planet, you got a southern hemisphere of the celestial realm. You see what I'm saying? And so this is where, our ancestors saw their African heaven. And so much of what, and I don't even see any, I don't know of any northern, because they was, situated, they were oriented. And I'm quite sure they had stars in the northern, but they were oriented to the south. And that's just clear. You understand? And so even when you talk about the Tanetaru, or you talking about the land of Punt, it is referred to as the land of the gods and the goddesses. So we have to understand that. So obviously, if the land of the gods and goddesses is in the south, then obvious that heaven is situated to the south. You see what I'm saying? And so when you talk about the Nile, they saying that the Nile is flowing down from the heavens. You see what I'm saying? And we got to see that, that the mountains itself are extensions of the heavens. You see, that are extensions of the heavens. And so the first thing that we pinpoint is the Milky Way. Okay, let's pinpoint that. Let's pinpoint the Milky Way. Matter of fact, let me come out because I want to mix this right. I don't want you to have to see all, no, let's mix it right. And a lot of people don't understand that the Milky Way, when you see Newt, let me see, there it is, right there. This is science that people don't understand. That's the southern hemisphere. You understand what I'm saying? And so it's geometrically perfect. You understand? So when you're talking about, this is, the birth of the sun. So it's also saying that the sun was born out of the Milky Way. You understand what I'm saying? Because you see that Ra is born through the womb of Newt. And so I did the research, and yes, they have a lot of black holes, you understand, within the Milky Way realm. And then you have black holes all through, but this was through my own consciousness before, because when I looked at Newt and I seen the heavens, I said, well, damn, what's the closest? And I said, well, her womb had to been the black hole. You understand what I'm saying? And so I said the sun was born through the black hole. That's this is what the ancestors taught. This is what the ancestors taught. And so, again, we're talking about over millions of years of research that our ancestors had performed and was doing due diligence. And you talking about, when you talk about the Dogon, because some of these stars were sacred before the European even knew what the fuck a star was. When you talking about Sirius, you see what I'm saying? Sacred to the Dogon, sacred to ancient Egypt. But the clear thing is that the Africans were able to see this. When you talk about Sirius, that there's Sirius A and there's Sirius B. And that Sirius A is so bright, you understand what I'm saying, that it's almost impossible to see Sirius B with the naked eye. You see what I'm saying? And so the Cro-Magnon Neanderthal wasn't able to see Sirius B into, you understand, just shit about the 70s. You see what I'm saying? They weren't able to see Sirius B until goddamn the 70s sometime. You know what I'm saying? The goddamn 60s or the 70s were they able to see it. And so the thing is, I was looking on at the documentary where they was talking about our ancestors. How were they able to how were they able to see this star? You understand, that cannot be seen with the, they assume that could not be seen with the naked eye. But the thing, well, I need a piece of paper. Man, I need a piece of paper. I should have had it. But I could do it. I could do it. You know what I'm saying? I could do it just with, explaining it. And it's just like being in a circle. You got to look at the great year. You got to understand the great year. The great year. And the great year of the celestial cycle is the revolution of the sun in its navigation of its cycle. It spins in a circle just like the earth. You see what I'm saying? And so as the earth, it takes 365 days for the earth to make I believe a complete revolution around the sun, it takes the sun, they say about 24 to 25,000 years to make its revolution. You see what I'm saying? Now you got to understand, as the sun moves in its revolution, as it moves in its navigation of its revolution, that, as the earth is spinning around the sun and the sun is moving, the earth is put in areas of the universe that, as it just like 12 zodiac. You got 12 zodiac of the great year. And the 12 zodiacs of the great year is not, 30 days. It's, something like 12,000 years. You see what I'm saying? So you imagine, if you look at if you put a cross in a circle, you see what I'm saying? You got north, south, east, and west. And so you can look at, the south as being the front. You can look at the north as being the back. And so today, say for instance, today you cannot see Sirius. You in the front. You in the southern, you know what I'm saying? But as you spin on the great year, with the sun, there'll be a point where you will be at the top of the circle. No, we'll say the bottom. We'll say that the south is the top. We'll use the north as the bottom. You see what I'm saying? We use the north as the bottom. Just imagine the circle with the cross in it. I wish I had my damn paper. And so the thing is, you got to understand that Sirius from the south, Sirius A, you cannot see Sirius B because it's so bright. But when you come around on the other side, and you in the back, you in the north, you can see Sirius. Sirius B is now in the front. You got to understand that. You see what I'm saying? You got to understand that. A lot of people don't understand, because if I could draw it, it would be matter of fact, I'm gonna get a piece of paper because I'm not gonna do no math. I'm not just gonna explain this shit without uh matter of fact, I thought I might have it in here. Well, I could use, you know, but I rather have my own piece of paper. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't nothing gonna do it like I needed to do it. Let me hold on, family. Hold on. All right, family. I got it. I got it. I got it. I'm gonna make I'm gonna make sense. I'm gonna make sense to y'all. Okay. I gotta grab a piece of paper. They ain't gonna take me but a minute, y'all. Already done got it. And then we're gonna get off into it. All right. I hope I can make this work. I hope I can make this work. Let me see how I look. Yeah, that's good. That's good. All right. Now, when you see right here, see, this is where we at right now. You see the earth is going around the sun. You see what I'm saying? And you see right there, there's Sirius A, right? It's too bright for you to see Sirius B. You see what I'm saying? But our people then went around the whole great year. You see what I'm saying? They done been around, and so it was a point where they was on the other side. See, they was on the other side where that at that point Sirius B was in the front. You see where we at today, Sirius A is in the front, and it's too bright to see. But as our people traveled around the goddamn, they traveled all the way around, there came a point. See, the sun is here. And you got to understand that this is split into 12. So you're talking about, almost 1,200 years. You know what I mean? 1,200 years per house. So you talking about when you add them all up, that's 24,000 years. So by the time we get all the way around, you see what I'm saying? On the other side, you see Sirius B is in the front, which enabled us to see it. And so we documented that it was there. So we didn't need no telescope. We didn't need no telescope because we've been around the whole great year. Okay? If we've been here millions of motherfucking years, and a great year is only 24,000 years, imagine how many times we went around. So that's the key. That's how the Africans was able to see it, because they didn't been into all the goddamn constellations. not all the constellations that's in the goddamn universe. African people done seen it with the naked eye. Okay, and they not only seen it, they documented it. You see what I'm saying? And they was able not only to they charted the oceans with the stars. You see what I'm saying? And so again, when you look at Newt, is exact science that what you looking at as the Milky Way. And it shows that the sun is born and dies in the southern hemisphere. That's what it say. It say it is in the east. You understand what I'm saying? And it died, but that don't mean it ain't in the south. It's in the southeast. God damn it. And it's in and dies in the south, in the southwest. Okay, so when you look here, you talking about the southern sky. You see even Andromeda. You see right here down here, you see the Milky Way. This is the celestial now. This is where our ancestors was going. And so many of these charts, that they don't give a fuck. The satellite is one thing, but goddamn, still that only gonna go so far. You understand what I'm saying? It's still not gonna, it can't, you can't place the motherfucking satellite, on the other side of the goddamn universe. And then you think it can look through there, but it can't. You see what I'm saying? It can't. So they still relying on a lot of the star charts of our ancestors who they know got real-time observation of these stars. They got real-time observation of these stars. Many of these stars that these Europeans are talking about, they wouldn't even know about them because they were so far up in the goddamn cave. When did they see them? You understand what I'm saying? Many of these stars, you can't even get true observation unless you're in the southern hemisphere. Some of them stars may be on the cusp of the southern and the northern hemisphere, but truly in reality, I didn't talk to many astronomers. You understand what I'm saying? And they tell you that the most beautiful observation and study of the stars is studying the southern hemisphere. That's just facts. They're just facts. The northern hemisphere, celestial hemisphere, cannot compare to the celestial southern hemisphere. You see? And so let me come down here. Let's go to work a little bit. You see? And so it's no coincidence. Even when you talk about where's my flyer? When you talk about NASA, people don't see that Asar is in NASA. You see? Asar is in NASA. You see? And so you see the three stars, and even in the Bible it says, seek he who what is the in the Bible talking about Orion? You understand what I'm saying? Talking about Osiris. It's talking about Osiris. Sirius, even that, even though it's sacred to, Isis, you talking about Sirius is nothing but Osiris. That's all that it is. So when you look at all of these, the divine stars and constellations, it's not a coincidence. Even the study of it itself is named after. Here it go, right here. Here it go, right here. I was looking for it. Boom. Let me get it in there. Right there. You say NASA. And then all you had to do is add the NASA SA. You see, let me take that out of there. And so we understand that because they studying these celestial, the chart that was in Dendera, the French just carved that on about they carved it right on about, and that's not the only one. You understand what I'm saying? There's many charts, but that one that's downstairs in Dendera, that's like the coldest star chart that on the planet. I mean, that's like the coldest star chart on the planet. And they didn't took that one down. You understand what I'm saying? They didn't, and everybody studying astronomy should be studying, and you can see you see hundreds of constellations. You see what I'm saying? You see hundreds of constellations. You can see all these deities attributed to some stars and constellations in the African cosmos. You see what I'm saying? So nobody's been studying the stars longer than our people. You see what I'm saying? And so even in studying the stars, they understood where the source of most of all energy, and we can say is infinite, and it is. You understand what I'm saying? It may be very well be infinite, but that don't mean that it's equal in divine energy. You see what I'm saying? That there was an original point of that we could say that very well may be the point of origin. We don't know of no origin though. This is all cosmology. You see what I'm saying? This is cosmology. This is our African cosmology. And so what am I saying? At least I'm giving you orientation, because when our ancestors died, this is where they conceived that they would go. You know what I'm saying? This is where they conceived that they would go. They didn't conceive that they was going to no heaven with no goddamn Peter at the gate. They didn't conceive that they would go. So you can go on over there and show up and goddamn it, you the only nigga, and then they kick you out any goddamn way. Because a Cro-Magnon Neanderthal ain't never let a nigga into nothing but a prison. You understand what I'm saying? That's the only thing the Cro-Magnon Neanderthal has ever let a nigga in. Well, and open up the door for and let a nigga in was a prison cell. You see what I'm saying? So if you choose to go in that direction, then, but this telling us, that we got to get more into our African astronomy. And not just for the sake of, because some motherfuckers don't have no point of origin. You can't just, the universe is infinite. You see what I'm saying? And so when you studying the ancestors, you studying millions of years that you cannot, I don't give a fuck what you think, you cannot, stand up against millions of years of research. Even they knew when these stars was coming. Many of these stars that, only come around 100 years. Who the hell you think calculated that? You understand what I'm saying? The Europeans just crawled out the damn cave 2,000 years ago and shit, and half of them still in the goddamn cave. So you thinking they did and still they didn't even get the goddamn calendar right until damn near in the 1600s. They still didn't get it right until the 1600s. And so you looking at a motherfucker that can't get the calendar together, and you know what I'm saying, can't get the calendar together. You understand? And you looking to him, and so all he got is a goddamn magnifying glass. And he looking out there, he taking some pretty pictures, and this, that, and the third, but he still don't have no orientation. He still don't have no true understanding as to what he's looking at, because you can't just look infinitely. What the fuck is you looking at? So the ancestors about it laid out where, life and, where there's possibility that it could be some life. I'm not going to get so far off into that because that's just in a realm. But for the sake of astronomy, based on occurrences on the planet Earth, when you say that this star, will rise in the flooding of the Nile or the seasons, and you saying this is the when this star rises, then it's it's the beginning of summer. It's time to get your harvest, or it's the beginning of spring. And so I understand that first and foremost. I don't advise nobody to shoot up into outer space and goddamn it, you on a goddamn spaceship going nowhere. You understand what I'm saying? You just off, just floating through the sky. You know what I'm saying? We used astronomy to further our position on the planet. You see what I'm saying? In a way where we could establish nationhood and keep and food first and foremost, longitude and latitude. You understand what I'm saying? Moving over these oceans. We looking up in the stars, but the motherfucker can't move over the ocean. You know what I'm saying? So we got to make it essential that we use these stars to manifest our reality as gods on this planet, and quit looking up and seeing, because when you're looking up in the sky without manifesting your power on the planet, it gives you an excuse to be a subservient nigga to other people who have done this. You see what I'm saying? And so you got to understand first and foremost that the little Twa, who were the first to have calculated the stellar, they were the first stellar masters. When you talk about the Twa, they were the first stellar masters. You see what I'm saying? They were the first stellar master, because you see the Twa all over the planet. And a lot of people believe that they walked, but they did not walk. They were on those ships, and they used those stars to navigate longitude and latitude all over the planet Earth. You see what I'm saying? And so they know and they try to degrade and say, oh, these are just little niggas in the bush or something like that. But they knew they had medicine. They knew they had astronomy. They knew they had all the gifts of civilization at their disposal. And so in one way, they dishonor the Lord Twab, and in another way, they deify him. Anywhere you go, whether it's the dwarf, whether it's the leprechaun, whatever little mythology that you have, you see those little stellar people who had invented the stellar calendar, who took their civilization all over the planet. And wherever you at, the oldest peoples in that nation that's documented was the Twa. Even in Europe, they call them the Grimaldi. When you go into Asia, they call them the Negrito. I've done the research. They was the first in Japan. They was the first in every area on the planet. You even see them in the Americas. You understand what I'm saying? They was here even before the goddamn Egyptians got over here. You got to understand there was waves. And so that was the first thing that they did. They mastered the ocean. So you see astronomy and oceanography. You understand what I'm saying? Coincide. You see what I'm saying? And also navigating on the land. You see what I'm saying? We talking about navigation, because when you start talking about I'm talking about in a cohesive, you know what I'm saying, study where you studying astronomy and I don't want niggas just floating. You taking the astronomy and you applying it to the planet. You laying it out and you grafting the planet. You understand what I'm saying? So you can move across. You understand and understand, where you at and how to get back. You see what I'm saying? And so our ancestors, they didn't just go over there. They was able to come back. And so they built great civilizations all over the planet with this science that they had built up. And not just the stellar calendar, but the lunar calendar. You see what I'm saying? Also the lunar calendar. Now they got a river, you understand, that's running through not just the Milky Way. It's another river. Eridanus. You see what I'm saying? Now, we don't understand what the ancestors called that, but that seems more European in its origin. But you see, it flows from, and that's Sirius, and you see Orion. and you see it flows to the southern region. You can see the south. You see that it's flowing to the south. And so, our ancestors had taken and you see the arcs that is, were laid next to the pyramids, and they laid next to the tombs, because our ancestors seen that these rivers that was flowing up out of the mountains were flowing out of heaven. So they designed heaven, they mapped out heaven, and they named heaven, and they named it after their ancestors. You see what I'm saying? And they created a cosmology where when they passed on, that the spirit would take that ark that was laid next to their burial and sell it up the Nile, back up into the highlands, and keep going into the celestial Nile. You see what I'm saying? And you can see that there's more than one river. You know what I'm saying? There's all kind of rivers flowing up there through the south. And you see here, this is another, you see Orion, which is Osiris. You see what I'm saying? And so they took this, and this is where you get the highway to heaven, but it ain't no highway, it's a river, but that's still a highway, the highway to heaven. So they already knew about that. You see what I'm saying? They already knew about that thousands and thousands of years before any motherfucking OJs, and they still our peoples. He was singing about the highway to heaven or whatever, stairway to heaven, and that's the step pyramid. So you see, even thousands and thousands of years later, we still have these sacred concepts even to the day. And much of it, and we don't understand where it came from. So when you look at the earth, you got to look at the surrounding sphere that the earth sits inside. And so when that's laid out, you see the celestial, hemispheres, the northern hemisphere, the celestial southern hemisphere. And so our people was oriented to the south. You see, they was oriented to the south. And the south is oriented towards the sun. Period. Is oriented towards the sun. Period. That's why when people talk about up, you got to have some type of orientation. Which way is up? You see what I'm saying? So you got to say, do you looking at the planet? Which way is up? You see, wherever the hottest, and a lot of people don't want to believe. They come up with wherever you see the hottest goddamn areas on the planet is because the sun got to be shining down on it. Anything that's cold is out of the the view of the sun. So when you talk about the top, even when you see northern and something and shit, the top is hitting on that goddamn equator. That's where the hell is the top is, hitting on that goddamn equator. You understand what I'm saying? So when you look at north and goddamn south, what's really what does those points really mean? When you go to both, it's cold at the North Pole, the South Pole, and shit. This, that, and the third. So we look at it as that's the top and the bottom of the goddamn planet. But the top is actually the areas where it's hitting the sun is hitting, because the top, you understand, the sun is where we got to have orientation. The sun is where we orient, up, what is up, what is down. You understand what I'm saying? So anything that is directly above the sun would be the hottest. So the top, you understand, is the areas around the damn equator where it's hottest at. And the bottoms, goddamn it, is those areas that are away from the sun and which are cold. This is where we get the bottom. That shit is the bottom. You understand what I'm saying? That shit is the bottom. And that's where you get the upside down Africa, because you know what I'm saying? When Europe is at the bottom, even in the source of civilization, that Europe is at the bottom because the people came down the river. And so, where, the top is the area from which they started. And so they moved down. And so you got to have your own orientation, because if this shit is infinite, so people say it's infinite, goddamn, where you going to orient? You just going to be floating out in goddamn space some goddamn where? So my orientation is the sun. So when I say, where's the top of the planet? God damn it, I point, where's the top? I point towards the sun. Where else is you going to point? That's the top. Okay, so where's the top of the planet? The areas where the sun is shining down on it profusely. You see what I'm saying? And so again, that would be the areas around the equator for me. You see, says right here, scientists discovered the smallest known black hole in the Milky Way, dubbed the unicorn. So it's black hole, and so that right there, that right there let me know that the ancestor understood the concept of the black hole. They understood that. You understand what I'm saying? And I could see it. I see it in the papyruses, because all the time I would see, where's that one papyrus? I'm gonna show you. Where's that one papyrus? Hmm, hmm, hmm. This, let me bring this up. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you the spirit being born back through the black hole. I'm gonna show you. They show it in the Egyptian papyrus. Here you go. Here you go, right here. Let me drop it in here. See it up there at the top? That's the black hole. That's the being reborn through the womb of Newt. You see it up there, the black hole, and I'm gonna show you another one. You see the car coming through the black hole? You can see it down there. You see what I'm saying? I used to wonder, I say, wow. You see what I'm saying? So it's showing you the car being reborn through the black hole. You know what I'm saying? And you see it here. And so I used to see them all the time. And it always showed the bar being, black. You understand what I'm saying? You see right here, the car is reborn through the black hole, the womb of Newt. You see what I'm saying? And so you see here, they already shown the spirit, the car, the bar, the bar, I think it's the car. I believe, wait a minute, it's the car. Because the bar, I believe, is the one that is looks like the bird. So the car, just like the car of Tutankhamun, you see that was outside of his tomb, they were black. You see what I'm saying? They were black. And so you see right there that, the dark melanin of our people understood that we was one with the cosmos. You see what I'm saying? That we were one with the cosmos, that we came from the cosmos. You understand what I'm saying? And we will be reborn through the cosmos. You understand what I'm saying? To go on and be with the ancestors. You see? And so again, you see right here, this is the Milky Way. Again, let me come on down. Now, what's crazy about it, Hitler and them, they was into that occult shit where they was worshiping the black sun. Them motherfuckers, they had a part of their occult worship and shit, the shit they was doing, which they got from Madame Blavatsky. You understand what I'm saying? Where they were talking about the black sun. Now, a lot of people don't understand because the Japanese did an X-ray of the sun. You see what I'm saying? They did a X-ray of the sun. Now, a lot of people don't understand that the fire that you see on the sun is on the outside of the hard planet, because the sun got a hard planet too. You understand what I'm saying? It got is land mass, it's granite and shit. And so when you see it, sometimes it look like a black spot. Sometimes they'll have what they call sunspots, and it'll look black, but actually the surface of the sun is black. And the Japanese did an X-ray of it and showed that the gases that you see on the sun is on the outer sphere of the planet. It's not the planet itself. It's not the hard granite of the sun. It's not that it's on fire. It's that shit is on the outer realm of the sun. You see what I'm saying? That's on the outer realm of the sun. So the planet, and I'm not called because it's a star, but the star itself is black. The mass of it is black. And every blue moon, you'll catch a sunspot. Let me see if I can bring a sunspot. So I'm just saying the ancestors knew a lot of, here you go. But I had already, they're gonna tell you whatever the fuck they want to tell you. Cause your ass when you get to doing research and you get to trying to compare this shit to ancient Egypt and you start seeing some shit. That's where he got the shit because the ancestors were showing it. They knew. Now this is one of 'em. This is a sunspot. Is it on there? Yeah, that's a sunspot. I want a better one though. You know what I'm saying? They get them storms and shit. Here you go. This is one too. And you actually can get a look. You understand what I'm saying? You can actually see the surface of the sun. Now I'm trying to find that one Japanese X-ray the sun. Here it is. This is one, but I read it and it was right and exact. Let me put that down in there. This is one of. And so you can see that the fire and the gases is on the outside of the star. You understand what I'm saying? But when you look down at the bottom, you see that it's black. And they explained it that it was black. You know what I'm saying? They explained it that it was black. Let me see if I could. They had one that was even colder than that. But see, when I started using this many years ago, they had some. They had this is one too. Yeah, this one even fire. It's even fire too. Let me drop this one in there. Let me drop this one in there too. This fire too. See? Right there. So when you get to breaking this shit down, the ancestors, you know what I'm saying? And, the ancestor knew some shit. You know what I'm saying? It could be the black hole. It very well could be, aspects of the black sun. You see what I'm saying? The ancestors knew some shit, man. Telling y'all what I know. When you put that in and you drop it in, wait a minute, let me get it together. Because we are the children of the sun. You see, we are the children of the sun. So when you put it in there and you see that black hole up there. I believe that is one of the aspects of it. It could be very well be the black hole because we being manifestations of the sun. We seen that our rebirth into the heavens was no different than the rebirth of Ra. You see what I'm saying? And so when you see New, giving birth to Ra, and then he dies and being reborn through the womb of New. We saw that, when we passed on, that when we were placed into the womb of Mother Earth, we were mummified and that we would come out of that cocoon. You understand what I'm saying? We will be reborn into the afterlife. You see what I'm saying? And so in this aspect, the Japanese didn't know that the sun was black, and they still don't project it. You know what I'm saying? Because that just backs up a lot of things when we saying about melanin. You see what I'm saying? That even the sun is made up of melanin. It's made up of cosmic melanin. We don't know if it's carbon. It got to be some form of carbon. You see what I'm saying? Which is one of the most abundant elements in all the universe. And you cannot have no life without carbon. You see what I'm saying? So when our ancestors said that they were children of the sun, you see what I'm saying? then that's they knew something greater than just making a statement. You know what I'm saying? They had the science to back it up. So when you see here, you see Ra. Wait a minute, am I there? Yeah, you see Ra. He's trying. He's about he's about to be reborn. You know what I'm saying? Well, he's actually going into, so he's dying at this point. He's going through. He's going into new. You see what I'm saying? He's going into new, and so the sun is about to set. You see what I'm saying? He's gonna travel. His 12 hours through through the body of Newton. Then he's gonna be reborn the next day. You see what I'm saying? These is concept, but you got to understand that this is taking place, you understand, in the southern hemisphere. You got to look towards the ancestors. You see what I'm saying? To understand what's going on. And it ain't that they knew that it was something special about the southern hemisphere. So you see, this is when you see the sun about to go back up into the, he goes up into the mouth of his mother Newt. Then he travels 12 hours through her body. Then he's reborn. And so that reborn, you see, the womb is the black hole. So when you see here, you see the sun being born through the womb of the black hole. You see, and so what happens is when you go in these other religions, they try to copy that. So you will see Jesus, and when he spends his 3 days down in hell and shit, you will see him being, coming up out the tomb. But you see the tomb is always shown in the shape of the womb. And you see the sun disk behind his head. And so when you go to Mecca, you will see that the black stone, the El Rukin, and you can see they didn't put some type of I don't know what you call that, but it's in the image of the womb. And so the black hole, you see, that's the black hole. You see, and they go over there and kiss it, and this, that, and the third, and shit, and this, everybody go to the El Rukin. And so it's the manifestation of the womb. You see, and it's the manifestation of, the manifestation of the sacred concepts that our ancestors had created thousands of years ago. So when you see, you see the arcs, and you know what I'm saying, and you see that, that the kings would get on their ark, they would sail up the Celeste, the Nile, until they come up into the highlands in the southern hemisphere. And from that point, they will, this is representation. The pyramid is only symbolic of the mountains in the southern region. So you understand, when you look up and you see these mountains, you know what I'm saying? You see the river going up into the mountain, and then it keep going up. You know what I'm saying? To the point that you don't even see the origin of the river, because it's up in the clouds some damn way. And so they say that the Nile can, flow down from heaven. So you see this, this is an extension of the Nile. You know what I'm saying? And so it come down, and so the mountains become an extension of heaven. The celestial Nile come down, it come into the mountains, and it continues to flow down into the sacred lands of Africa. You see? And so this is the concept. And so we got to understand, they've been using our charts. They've been using our charts. Let me come down some. Again, you see right here, the birth of Ra. You see, and you see how, the sun goes up into the mountain, and see that, even the king of the gods had a mother. You see, and so what they did, when you see our people, you see we coincided our own birth, rebirth, which is our children, with the rebirth of the sun. You see, we coincided our own rebirth with our children, with our father, the sun. And so that's what you got to understand. It's the same cosmology. You got a cosmological story or astrological story, and you got an anthropomorphic story. So you see our Set, Osiris, and Horus is the anthropological story. And then you got the cosmological story, which is Nu, Ra, and Geb. You see? But it's the same story. And see here, you can see here the sun, and you can see the spirit, is going up into the sun. You see, but you see that the spirit is coming by way of the ark. You see the ark is there, and you can see that the spirit is going up to be one with the sun. So many of our ancestors saw the heaven as being a place in the sun. You see, there was certain concepts where heaven was in the sun. So damn well ain't no European got nothing to do with that. And so you come over here and you see the Buddha. You see the Buddha and you see the sun back and you see him in his sleep. You see him in his sleep. And you come back here and you see the sun and you see the African ancestor in his sleep. You see, and so you see Orion, which is in the southern hemisphere. And I got to come down because I got to show you the orientation, which I do show. And so when you look at, let me show you you see the orientation down there. You see south. You see south. So you see the ancestors when they look to Orion, they had to look south. That means they looking towards Ethiopia. They looking towards Uganda. They looking towards Kenya. They looking towards Rwanda, Burundi. They looking towards South Africa. They looking towards the south. This is how they. So this is where the heaven was. You see, and so again, you look and you see the milk. You see the Nile down here, and then you see up there. You see once you cross the horizon, you see the celestial Nile, which is the Milky Way. You know what I'm saying? Again, and so to be one with the Holy Mother of Sa and the Holy Mother of Set and the Holy Father of Sa. So they saw that the Holy Mother and Father was in the south, the southern hemisphere. Orion being sacred to Osiris and Sirius being sacred to the goddess Set. And so right there, almost 5:8, it says, seek him that maketh the seven stars and Orion, and turneth the shadow of death into the morning, and maketh the day dark and with night, that calleth for the waters of the sea, and poureth them out upon the face of the earth. The Lord is his name. The Lord is his name. So who we talking about? So you see here again, you see the Nile, and then you see how, once it get up into the highlands in the south in the mountains, from that point, it becomes one with the celestial Nile. You see, it becomes one with the celestial Nile. Okay. And then you read right here, it says, more stars are indeed visible with the unaided eye from the southern hemisphere. Not because more stars exist in that direction of the universe. The reason is that the South Pole is oriented toward the center of the Milky Way, our own galaxy. So right there, that's very key that the Milky Way is the center of our galaxy. That's key. So they knew something. Now, how would they know that the Milky Way is the center of our galaxy unless they did extensive research over hundreds of thousands of years on that fact? You see, on that fact. That ain't something you gonna come up with in a couple of days. You see what I'm saying? That's not something you gonna come up with in a couple of days. And so you got to understand, family, that again we're showing that, and they using all our ancestors. You can go to Dendera. I'm gonna show you this one before I get off of here, and I know it for a fact because you cannot thinking that just you got a goddamn a magnifying glass that you calling a satellite. Uh, you can, but you only gonna see in one goddamn area of the fucking universe. That shit don't mean nothing. Let me show you. Hold on. Oh yeah. Hold on, y'all. Then I'm gonna get on over here to Patreon. That's the Zoe. I don't want to see that circle. I want to see. There you go. They probably ain't gonna give me a good one or the, up in. But the next time, because they're gonna just show you the circular one. I'm talking about, yeah, here goes sun right here. Here goes sun right here. You know, when you look up and you talking about, man, shit, they got so many of them stars, and you know what I'm saying? They didn't chart it. You know what I'm saying? That this just a little piece of the, this just a little piece. This just a little piece. This is the largest stellar chart that you can find on the planet Earth from the ancient world. Don't let nobody fool you. This is an even bigger piece of it. Just to show you, this is a larger piece of it. This is a bigger piece of it. So you talking about our ancestors had charted these guys, and so it would have taken them, hundreds of thousands of years. You understand what I'm saying? Possibly millions of years. Here's another aspect where they show you all these stars, and and they use certain zoo types, and you know what I'm saying, to identify certain constellations and certain stars, and yet and still they got new. Let me see how this is a nice one. Hold on. So this is where they're getting a lot of their information from. This is one of them right here. Let me see. This is pretty. This is one of them. Let me see. This is nice right here. This is nice right here. You can see up there in the ceiling. You see what I'm saying? So they got hundreds of stars. You know what I'm saying? That they in this go. I mean, this is the largest stellar chart on the planet from the ancient world. There's none greater than this one at Dendera. There's none greater than this one at Dendera. Let me show you this. Just to show you how large it is. You know, just to show you how large it is. So when you look up in the temple of Dendera, you can see this is a big temple. So you can imagine how you got this one side of the, that particular side of the temple, and then you go on the other side, and they got, just to show you that they're going the other way too. You see what I'm saying? And you see that water down there. You see that water, you see the symbol of the water. That's the celestial Nile. And you always see it, our deities on them arcs. You see them on the boats. You see them down there on the boat. Let me see. See them on the boat. So they sailing on the celestial now in the southern hemisphere. This is very powerful, family. We're gonna do a deeper understanding of this. I'm gonna get some charts where I can write my information down so we could, take it far deeper than today. But this is just a taste. This is just a taste to let you know that the ancestors was doing greater things that you can ever know of, family. You know what I'm saying? We are from the start. We are the cosmos. That's what they were saying. We are the cosmos. But take that information and manifest it on this earth. Don't be floating out there too long, family. Go up there, do that research, and get your ass back down on here, back down on this planet and win this war. All right, family. This is the General Sara Seti saying, hey, arm yourself with knowledge, bang on that wicked ass beast daily. Liberation through African education and confrontation. Black power.